I'm Dana Massing from the Erie Times News and Go Erie, and today we're doing a Facebook Live chat with John DeMarco, the Executive Director of the Presque Isle Partnership, and we're here to talk about the best summer night coming up this weekend. So first of all, John, for people not familiar with it, what is Best Summer Night?
Best Summer Night is a concert fundraiser hosted by the Presque Isle Partnership, where we basically transform Beach 11 into a really unique venue to bring in big name bands such as Steve Miller Band and Peter Frampton to raise money for Presque Isle State Park. All seats are reserved. It's the culmination of a lot of community support, a lot of volunteer efforts to make this happen, all in support of Presque Isle State Park. And we are excited for this week, especially Friday, where it all happens at Beach 11 at 7:30 all the way up until about 11 o'clock. It should be a great time. The Presque Isle Partnership has been around for 25 years, and this is a great way to celebrate our silver anniversary.
Wonderful, congratulations on that. And how are ticket sales going? Are tickets still available?
Tickets are still available. They are going well with the forecast this week. We expect them to go even quicker. If you haven't been to one of these before, you know that it is a completely unique venue. Of course, you could probably get a ticket to go see these folks a lot cheaper somewhere else, but this is completely off the grid and on the beach. We set up 4,000 chairs on the beach, so there's a lot of work that goes into the logistics and planning this whole thing, and it's just been a lot of fun.
And so if people do still want to get a ticket, how can they do that? What are the prices? What are their ticket options?
Sure, so the best way to get tickets is through the website that we've created, bestsummernight.com. Tickets range from $100 to $125 to $175. The 100 and the 125 are reserved seats. And then, of course, the 175 includes the pre-party from 5 to 7 at Beach 11, which includes beer, wine, and catered hors d'oeuvres. Erie Beer, Glenwood Beer, and Mazza Vineyards will be there, as well as Make It Fabulous Catering, who will be providing some great food.
Great.
We already have a question. Parking. Can you go over parking options?
Yes, parking. So if you purchase the 175 ticket, you'll get a Beach 11 parking pass, as these are still available. Beach 11 is right there at the venue, so we want to make sure that everybody who has a parking pass carpools. If you bought 4 tickets, you'll get 1 parking pass. If you bought 6 tickets, you'll get 2 parking passes. The general rule of thumb is that every 4 tickets gets 1 parking pass. So that's the 175. We're really limited on space, so carpooling is huge. And then if you purchase the 100 or the 125, you'll get a Beach 10 and Beach 8 parking pass. Now, something with the Beach 10 and Beach 8 parking pass. Beach 10 we will fill up first, and then, although this says Beach 8 is under construction right now. We thought it was going to be done, unfortunately, with the weather in the late spring, there were some setbacks. So Beach 8 will actually be Beach 6. There'll be signage along the way when you come onto the park. If you have a green parking pass, it'll notify you if Beach 10 is full, in which case you should park at Beach 6.
And I think I forgot to mention we have our online reporter, Sarah Grabsky, behind the camera, who's taking questions from viewers if there's anything that they want to know about the event. And what will the partnership do with the money raised by this concert?
So we're really excited about the proceeds and where that's going to go. We've been saying waterfront safety and ADA accessibility. With the waterfront safety, our lifeguards are hugely important to Presque Isle State Park. 4 million visitors a year. Many of those people are using the swimming beaches, and we want to keep them as safe as possible. Safety is always our #1 priority. So we've identified a need for those lifeguards, and that is lifeguard stations for each beach. What you see out there now are lifeguard towers. They're really outdated. I think they're about 50 years old. They don't provide a lot of shade for the lifeguards, sun protection. There's a lot of glare that comes off the water that they're not being protected from. So we want to put lifeguard stations, basically headquarter stations for each of the swimming beaches that house all of their safety equipment. Each lifeguard station will be the same from beach to beach with all the, like I said, the safety equipment. So if one guard is at Beach 6 one day, they know that if they're moved over to Beach 11, that all that safety equipment will be in the exact same spot. And we've actually just wrapped up a lifeguard station design contest with some of the local universities where they came up with their own designs. Because you can purchase these things out of California or Florida, but we have all the resources locally to design and fabricate them, and that's what we plan to do. We want to keep everything local, and then with the with the ADA accessibility, you've probably seen at our Sunset Music Series on Beach 1, we have these really cool Moby mats. They're 6.5 foot wide by 50 foot long sections. They're permeable, made out of recycled plastic bottles, and they provide ADA access up onto the beach to get those beautiful views. And something that we may take for granted. Sand's really tough to get across, and we're excited to be able to purchase more of those from this concert, and we have actually purchased many of them to make the venue on Friday ADA accessible.
I was going to ask, will there be some there so that people can see, sort of what the proceeds are going to, what they'll be helping to fund here at the park?
Yes, they will be there, and we've actually invited the company who produces them to come and check it out, and so it'll be really fun to see.
Wonderful. We have a question that actually this is great, and maybe we should have started out with this. Sandy says, "Tell me again, explain what the event is. Like what is Best Summer Night?"
Best Summer Night is an awesome concert on Beach 11. It's something we don't do every year. Presque Isle Partnership is a small organization. We have a professional staff of 4, and then the rest is pretty much board members and volunteers. So we basically take Beach 11, rent a huge stage, 100 foot wide, set up 4,000 chairs, have a pre-party, and then people go to their seats and rock out to 2 of music's biggest legends, Peter Frampton and Steve Miller Band. And in the past, 2014, we've had Steely Dan come and join us. And in 2012, we've had Crosby, Stills, and Nash. So it's a blowout concert, all in support of Presque Isle State Park.
And I think you've got a photo there that will show people what it looks like. And can you talk a little bit about the setup? Where will this be set up on Beach 11?
Sure. So this view right here, it's a panoramic shot. Paul Lori Portraits put this together. It's really captures the just how awesome this event is. That's 4,000 people set up in 4,000 chairs that we set up. So over here, right now we're looking out into Thompson Bay and Lake Erie from Beach 11. Over here in this area is the North Pier. You'll see a bunch of boats out here on Boaters Beach, and then everybody sits along here and looks out at the stage, which is to your north. And it's just we work with what we have, and it's fun because like everything, like the weather changes, the beach changes as well. So from year to year, we have to make little tweaks here and there. And fortunately, we have an architect on our board from Weber Murphy Fox, Charlie. If you're watching this, thank you. He's volunteered a lot of his time to make this possible. So yeah, that's an SAM 550 stage. That is a huge stage. We bring in all the sound equipment, generators, facilities. We bring in lights. Like I said, the Moby mats for ADA accessibility. We bring in a bunch of machinery to get all this stuff on, tents, tables. It's just everything you can think of. This isn't like, although Erie Insurance is a great facility, this is not like that. We have to really build this venue from scratch. So this has been in the planning for a number of years, and we're excited.
And what's the draw of having it out there on the sand next to Thompson Bay?
You just basically kind of described it right there. You're at the water's edge with your toes in the sand, under the stars, on your beach, and your presence there is supporting Presque Isle State Park. I'm 29 years old, and I've been going to the park 29 years, and I've never had to pay a dime. So if those ticket prices might scare you a little bit, know that it's going to a good cause. It's not just going into somebody's pocket. We want to put this right back on our beaches.
So where are you guys at in the process right now of getting all of this set up?
Beach 11 has been untouched. We will start putting up fencing tomorrow, Tuesday. Chairs will arrive on Wednesday. Stage will arrive on Thursday, as well as volunteers to help set up chairs and parking volunteers and all that, setting up signage. So we really will get into the thick of it Thursday morning setting up. And Beach 11 on Thursday will be closed to swimming, as well as Friday. If you are interested in coming down on Friday or Thursday, and you want to say, let's say you want to fish at North Pier, you will be able to fish at North Pier, but you won't be able to access the beach. And Beach 11 on Friday, if you're, like I said, a fisherman who wants to go out to North Pier and fish, You can do that up until 4 o'clock. If you get to Beach 11 at 4 o'clock, we will allow you to go to North Pier and fish. And you can stay for as long as you want, but we're not going to let anybody else in there to North Pier to fish after 4 o'clock on Friday.
Okay, and so essentially then you'll be putting up temporary fencing that people will have to go through. They'll have to show their ticket to get there that night.
Correct. When you show up, just make sure to present your parking pass as well as your tickets to any of the parking attendants, and they'll grant you access to any of the beaches that you are permitted to be in parking.
And what about people in boats? What restrictions or non-restrictions are there as far as Thompson Bay during the concert?
So we are working with the Coast Guard, Fish and Boat, and DCNR to put a perimeter buoy across Beach 11, essentially. So boaters will still be able to come and anchor and moor out there in the Beach 11 sort of boaters beach area.
Okay.
But you'll only be able to get so close, and we will have many patrol boats out there, and we just ask that everybody be very, very safe and courteous, and let's make this fun for everybody and not have any accidents out there.
And as far as your performers that night, Steve Miller Band, Peter Frampton, why were those the guys you wanted this year?
Well, logistics, honestly. Presque Isle State Park, as you know, is a very busy park with a lot of special events. So we only had a few weekends to work with. And we only had a few artists to work with whose tour may have fallen in line with those specific dates. We would prefer to be on Saturday. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but we're going to be on Friday. It's going to be just as good. It's a great kickoff to summer. We just felt that they fit our demo very well, going in line with what we've done in the past. Steely Dan and Crosby, Stills and Nash, we felt that these folks had a number of hits. They had a great draw. They've never played together here in Erie, and what better of a venue than Presque Isle State Park? I think they're going to be a little surprised when they show up as well. Where are we? You're on Presque Isle State Park in Erie, Pennsylvania, right in our backyard.
So you've got chairs set up. Is there going to be room for dancing, or is there going to be any standing area? There
are no sort of standing areas. I mean, if you want to head to the back and just kind of hang out and groove, that would be great. But it's because of the beach, how flat it is. If you stand up, you're going to ruin the view of people behind you. So if we ask that you just move off to the side and just be courteous of those around you. It's not like we have stadium seating like in other areas. So just have fun. If you feel the need to get up and just kind of move a little bit, I'm that way too. Head off to the side, keep it to a minimum, and then head to the back.
Great. And you talked about the forecast. It's obviously hot, sunny today.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. Rain or shine, what factor does the weather play into this?
Like any events that the Presque Isle Partnership hosts, weather is always something that we have to face. And although the weather looks great for this week, we are hosting it rain or shine. Mm-hmm. What will cancel the show is if we have a big thunderstorm that comes through, and we like I said, safety is our number one priority, and we don't want to put anybody's well-being or safety at risk. So if there is that circumstance, we will have to call the show, and it's just part of the risk.
Why Beach 11? Why not somewhere closer like Beach 1 or Beach 6?
Beach 11 is one of the largest, flattest beaches that we have. And when you're setting up that many chairs, you need a flat surface. It also has one of the largest parking lots. We can't have people, if it's, like I said, Beach 1 maybe, or Beach 6, there's a little bit of a slope, and we just can't deal with that. And also, the winds here in Erie are predominantly westerly, so you get some good blockage from the wind too.
Now, the past concerts, you mentioned Steely Dan, Crosby, Stills and Nash. Were they sellouts? How popular were those? And how will this one differ at all from the past two events?
So the past concerts were not complete sellouts, although we came very, very close. This event really just follows that same model that we've had. As the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we're excited, although we did up the ticket price a little bit just because things have become more expensive. We're bringing 2 artists this time, and it should be a blowout concert. You're going to have almost 3 hours of music, and maybe we can talk about that.
Okay, yeah.
So the pre-parties, if your ticket says section A, B, C, D, E, or F, that means you are part of the pre-party. So make sure to get there at 5 or earlier to enjoy the benefits of that pre-party. And then the gates open for everybody to actually go into their seats at 6:30. And then Peter Frampton will open up at 7:30. He will play about an 80-minute set. Then there'll be about a 20-minute set changeover. So that brings us up to around 9 o'clock. Then Steve Miller Band will come on and play about a 90-minute set. So we're going all the way up until 11 o'clock with hit after hit.
That's great. That's great. And, any thoughts on what songs people might be hearing?
I think a lot of the classics, of course, I've been checking out some of the set lists from previous shows, and Steve Miller Band, The Joker, Fly Like an Eagle, Peter Frampton. Dana, you could probably sing along to some of those right now.
You don't want me to.
Peter Frampton has had one of the top selling albums of all time. Peter Frampton Comes Alive, and Steve Miller Band obviously has huge hits. So you'll know many of the songs that they sing, and I'm almost positive that they'll be jamming out together on some of those as well. I can't wait.
Great. A practical question that some people may have, what about necessities, facilities, food, beverage? Will there be things like that for purchase?
Yes, so the concession stand at Beach 11 will be open, and you'll have your food that you can get there, water, drinks, food, hot dogs, hamburgers, whatever they may have. That will be available all night. One thing, though, about this venue that I just want to make clear is that we get a special exception from DCNR to be able to provide alcohol for only the people who are going to be at the pre-party. That is a rule here on Presque Isle that it's no alcohol, but there is an exception for this as it is a benefit, and all the drinks, I should say, are included in the ticket price of that $175. So from 5 to 7, those pre-party folks will be able to have those drinks, but we will not be serving or selling alcohol at the event.
Okay. As far as people bringing in things, are they allowed to bring in their own food and beverages with the exception of alcohol, or is there a limit on that?
There is a limit on that. We ask that no outside food or beverage come into the venue.
Dana, something that you had, I think we had talked about earlier, but somebody asked it too. So there's a Best Summer Night in 2018. This isn't an annual event, correct?
This is not an annual event. So the first one
put less years on your life if it were.
That's very true.
Right.
First one was in 2012 with Crosby, Stills, Nash. Then 2014 with Steely Dan. Then we are doing it this year. It's 4 years, but one year it conflicted with the Tall Ships Festival, and it's just a lot of work. And sometimes things just don't fall into line. We say with this event, all the stars have to align, and we're hoping that happens here on Friday.
So it sounds like we may not be seeing one again in 2019, but are you planning to continue this event on into the future?
I will guarantee you right now that we're not doing one in 2019. Whether it will be in 2020 or 2021, 2021 is the 100th anniversary of Presque Isle State Park becoming a state park. So up for discussion. We'll see who's still around to tour and all that. But we're going to get through Friday first and then see where we go.
Great. We talked about when access to Beach 11 would end for people this week. When will they be able to get back on the beach? Is this something that it's going to take days to clean up? Or are you guys going to be out there, as people are driving off, folding up chairs? How much time does that take? And when can the beachgoers get back to Beach 11?
Well, the setup always takes longer than the teardown. So we plan to, like I said, to start setting up on Thursday. And then by hopefully noon, 1 o'clock on Saturday, the venue will be broom clean. Our goal is always to leave the venue cleaner than it was when we got there. And we have a lot of volunteers coming out to help tear down. So you'll be able to come back to Beach 11 on Saturday with your family and do some swimming and enjoy the beaches.
You mentioned volunteers. Are there things that you still need help with? Can people contact you and say, I'm free, I can come help set up chairs or help clean up? Or do you have that covered?
We have most everything covered. It's just with the chairs, you could always use more. So if you are available on Thursday or Saturday to help tear down, you don't even need to contact us. Just come on down and say, hey, I love Presque Isle. I'm here to help. What do you need me to do? We'll gladly take you in. We'll take down your information, and then maybe you want to help with some other events that we host throughout the year.
Okay, John, so let's switch gears a little bit. We have a ton of people saying, sounds like fun, wish we could come, wish we were in Erie, so a lot of people saying, yay, Erie. Let's switch gears to the Sunset Series, the Wednesday night concerts that you guys do. So outside of Friday, there is also other entertainment on the beach that you guys provide, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
We have the UPMC Sunset Music Series on Beach 1. It started last Wednesday, June 13th. It will continue through July 18th. 2 concerts each night starting at 5:30. That is just a wonderful event that UPMC Hammett, UPMC Health Plan, and a bunch of other sponsors commit to so that everybody can enjoy that for free. It's a great midweek break. We have food trucks down there, Jay's Main Street, Connie's Ice Cream, Jen Dennehy does her hula hoop play shops. We'll have bounce houses, a whole bunch of fun stuff. Not to mention world-class sunset every Wednesday. So yeah, those are free. Come on down and check us out.
So the difference between Best Summer Night and let's talk about that. Like, what have you guys done to separate the two events and make Best Summer Night unique? You know.
I guess the biggest difference is one is completely free and open to the public. The other one is a paid event that's more of designed to be a larger fundraiser that we do every few years, and it's a one-off kind of deal. Whereas the Sunset Music Series is a 6-week series, usually in June through July, and everybody's welcome.
And why do you do that? You know, why offer the free event as well? Because, you know, the partnership isn't getting anything. You're not making any money out of it. But why, you know, go to the time to plan this and put this on as well for the public?
The music series?
Yes.
Yes. So it's just, it's fun. It keeps people engaged with the partnership. We have such a wonderful resource here on the park, and we are all about exposing people to the park in new and exciting ways. And we feel like the Sunset Music Series is just a no-brainer. I mean, what could be better? How many people can say that in their hometown that they have 6 concerts on the beach where you get to bring your beach chair? They're free throughout the summer. It's just too cool to not continue. So we are very fortunate for those who have supported that event throughout the year, and we look forward to doing that year after year.
And it's local entertainment, right, John? Whereas Best Summer Night is normally like a national act.
Best Summer Night is usually a headliner act, nationally recognized, globally recognized, whereas the Sunset Music Series is more local and regional bands.
And I think if I remember correctly, the food trucks are a new addition to the concert series this year?
Yes. So, I mean, like we were talking about exposing people to Presque Isle in new and exciting ways. We've seen a lot of the same kind of demographic coming down to the UPMC Sunset Music Series, and the food trucks have just been so popular, especially among the young folks. And last week when we had our first music series, we saw more young people than we had ever had before, and that was really, really neat to see. That's new. We'll also be giving away, you mentioned that we don't really make any money off the Sunset Music Series. Well, we do have a raffle that goes on. We have something really cool. We formed a really neat partnership with the flagship Niagara League, and with the raffle ticket, the grand prize this year is a happy hour cruise on the Letty G. Howard for up to 37 people with a little bit of a cocktail hour at the dock afterwards. So that's pretty neat. We're excited about that. Thank you.
So how was your turnout last week then, the first one? It was beautiful.
It was beautiful. You know, we had a little bit of wind during the day and into the evening, and we didn't know what the forecast was going to do. There were some thunderstorms on the radar that had gone another direction. When it first started, you know, it was pretty sparse, but by 6:30, there were 2,000, 3,000 people on the beach, and it was just very humbling to see.
Somebody just came in with a comment off of that. What about the equipment? So, like, even for Best Summer Night, if it does rain, is the stage covered?
The stage is covered.
Okay.
The generators will be able to withstand rain. There's tents on either wing of the stage, so all their equipment will be fine. They prepare for these things. We're just one of many outdoor tours that happen, so they really plan for those types of scenarios.
That's part of the beauty of doing it on the beach. You've got some, you know, environmental factors that play in here.
Exactly. There's always variables.
All right, so will you pitch again one last time so if people want to get tickets where they can go and how they can do that for Friday?
Absolutely. If you love Presque Isle and you want to support it, go to bestsummernight.com, learn about the ticket prices, learn about what this event is all about. Learn a little bit about Presque Isle Partnership along the way. And we hope to see you on Friday, June 22nd for another Best Summer Night. Steve Miller Band and Peter Frampton. We'll see you at the beach.
Okay, great. Thanks, John.
Thank you, Dana.